63% of news influencers are men, which is why I think Jeff is being a little pain in the ass. I'm going to explain, don't worry. Very quickly, I did not make these numbers up. This is recent research from Pew. 63% of news influencers are men. 4 in 10 US adults under 30 get their news from news influencers. And another little interesting tidbit, more news influencers explicitly identify as right-leaning as opposed to left-leaning. So where does Jeff come into all of this? I met Jeff where I meet so many of my fans in the comments of my Instagram. So basically Jeff's whole thing is that my takes on Ezra Klein have been done because I want to get attention. And even though he won't come out and say it, I can just feel that Jeff's take is rooted in misogyny. I think that my takes on Ezra Klein, there've only been a couple of them, have been pretty nuanced and interesting. I'm not saying that they are the most brilliant ones or the only ones out there, but I think they've been interesting. I talk about the news and current events. Talking about Ezra Klein is the news and current events. But Jeff sees this and automatically he's like, you're just doing this for attention. And I had that moment, ladies, we have it all the time. I just thought, would you say this to a man? Would you say this to a man? You wouldn't. You would never say this. The wildest thing about Jeff is that Jeff has a political news podcast, which is great. That's totally fine. I'm glad he's one of the, I guess I would argue he's one of the 63%. But if your reaction to a woman discussing the news and current events is that she's just doing it for attention, I invite you to check your misogyny. And that 63%, and Jeff, I'm kind of speaking to you right now because I'm going to invite you to subscribe. That 63% is why we are building our new show, The Moment. It's a women-led news show where we dissect the headlines and we bring in the names behind them. The other thing that we think is really interesting is there are markedly less news influencers on TikTok, which is why our show is on TikTok Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 a.m. PST. And then we put the show up on Substack. So you can join our Substack, which is totally free. Please, please, please go to the link in my bio and join our Substack. Help us move the needle a little bit. And you know what, Jeff? It's all fun and games until you want to be that fourth square on The Moment. By the way, we have amazing guests this week. I think we're going to announce it later today or maybe tomorrow.